Men's 400 individual medley coming up now. More tickets to Paris on the line. The world record is the domain of the great Frenchman Leon Marchand, who is going to be front and centre for the Paris Games.
To personal best times for most to book a trip to Paris.
Take your marks.
Will Petrick was the winner of the 200 individual medley, but missed the qualifying time by 0.31. Can he avenge that disappointment and confirm a place in the 400 individual medley for Paris? He and Brendan Smith undoubtedly the two big guns lining up here in the final.
Well, he's certainly gone out well this early part, the first 50 metres of the butterfly leg. Brendan Smith's also up there. Both swimmers return home fast in the breaststroke freestyle legs. Surprising that Brendan Smith has gone out as fast as he has.
They both look comfortable, however, as we reach the 75-metre mark of this butterfly leg, and William Petrick almost looks a little bit smoother in his stroke, but we know that Brendan is quite dynamic in most of his form strokes.
And David slipped over in lane 3 as he did this morning, swimming a good race. Trained at Arizona State University with Bob Bowman, who coached Michael Phelps, the undisputed king of the 400 individual medley at Olympic level. They transition now, and Brendan Smith leading in the backstroke leg, Will Petrick in second, Schlick in third.
Brendan Smith picks up in this backstroke leg. He's going for it here, trying to get the lead going into the breaststroke, very similar to how this happened in the 200 metres individual medley, expecting William to be able to bring something back, breaststroke to freestyle leg.
As a backstroker, you can tell that he trains in an outdoor pool on the Gold Coast. Always looking for that lane rope. He always sits close to that lane rope just to get an idea of where he is in the lane. Whereas William Petrick is much more measured of where he sits within the lane. We know that Brendan Smith is an incredible backstroker. He often makes his move in this leg, but also has a brilliant back to breast turn, and off that turn is dynamic as well.
So Petrick was pretty good in and out of that turn, and that gap had opened up to quite a handy lead for Smith, and he might have just pulled it back a fraction.
It has. Petrick's the better breaststroker out of the two. You see the stroke flowing. He's over the top of the water a lot more comfortably than what you'll see from Brendan Smith. He really needs to close this entire gap in the breaststroke leg.
So keep an eye on that magic time, 4:12.50, the qualification time. Brendan Smith, we know he's more than capable. He is an Olympic medalist, and that gap has shrunk again.
So this turn, the advantage that you have on this, pull up, he wants to be up to a body length here. Pulling in, back to half a body length, he'll be in shot that stage.
This is almost exactly what we saw in the heat this morning. Brendan with a commanding lead in the backstroke. William moving through, closing that gap, and they were nearly both hands on the wall at the end of this breaststroke leg this morning in heats, even at a lower stroke rate. However, Brendan just holding off Will Petrick at this stage.
So Petrick had to glide into that 50. That's why I was in shock. It means that you don't get the bounce off the turn that you would usually going into the freestyle, like not the same trajectory underwater. It will play out in the last 100.
So a great battle emerging. It will continue for the remainder of the race. They put a gap between first, second, and Schlick back in third. The issue is the qualifying time. The line was slipping away from these two at the conclusion of the breaststroke leg. As they turn now with 50 metres to swim, it's a wonderful battle between Brendan Smith, the Olympic bronze medalist, and the up-and-comer Will Petrick.
Brendan Smith trying to find something. He has that huge six-beat kick when he goes in the freestyle leg, and watching Will trying to find something and challenging him.
They've caught the line. Smith's a body length ahead of it, and Petrick's trying to keep pace. It's going to be close with Will. Brendan Smith's got it bottled up. Petrick going to the wall. Can he seal an individual swim? He's got the time. We've got two in the 400 IM.
Wow. I am so happy for that result. Well done to Brendan Smith. firstly, but also to Will Petrick. His response in missing out in the 200 and making that qualified was one of the most mature responses and what you wanted to hear from a swimmer. He was saying he has to put it behind him. He is disappointing. I have to look at the next opportunity. Next opportunity, he has been able to deliver. This means he is going to the Olympic Games as well.
Oh, they waited until the final night to do it, to book their tickets to Paris. But Brendan Smith, an incredible swim. And as you said, Thorpe, William Petrick lining up behind the blocks, knowing he had to swim faster than he ever had before to go under this qualifying time. And geez, it tested him in that last 10 metres, but he found a way.
So Brendan's gone marginally quicker than he did in the final of the Tokyo Games to win bronze. Things are looking up, and we've got a new 19-year-old on the scene in Will Petrick. They'll both be there in Paris